Hey guys, welcome to the OTG Podcast. I'm very happy to be here today because it's our first episode. So for today's topic, we're going to dive in a very important topic, which is how to build connections as an international student and how to handle mental health. Joining me today is an incredible student, Benny Mupila, who has accomplished quite a few things, being an international student at Georgia Gwinnett College, which who is currently majoring in nursing and public health program. But I will let himself tell us more about his background. Hey Benny, man, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for having me here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting topic that I see myself related to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very honored to be here and
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit more about it. But like to get started, as you already said, my name is Benny Mopula.
Mm-hmm.
I am a junior majoring in public health and nursing, pretty much a double concentration at Georgia Gwinnett College. Um, I've been in the US for pretty much 5 years as an international student, and I've learned English here. I didn't come with English from back home. I've learned English here, and I still learn English, as you can see. So, as my 5 years of being in college, I've been quite interactive. I've been involved. I am the former president of Grizzly Register Organization Council, also known as GROC. Um, GROC is a fundamental base of RSOs on campus. It is an institutional organization. We pretty much oversee all the student organizations on campus. So if you want to come up with a club, association, or organization, you have to come to us and we give you guidance. We do workshop to kind of like help you come up with your organization. And on top of that, I've been in other leadership position. I was vice president of the African Student Union
Mm-hmm.
for about a year and a half, so pretty much 3 semesters. Um, we live in a country where this is not our country, right? We're from Africa, I'm from
Right.
Congo.
Mm-hmm.
So, being able to bring Africa here in the United States for those who never been in Africa
Mm-hmm.
or for those who doesn't even know much about it was such a privilege for me to be part of. As a vice president, I, all along with my leadership teammate, we've come out with great initiatives. I think in the spring we did Taste of Africa, where we pretty much, as you can hear in the name Taste of Africa, we came out with a lot of great things from Congo, from Africa, excuse me. Um, we had food from different countries, Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
Cameroon, and etc. We had a modeling activity where people were doing the modeling kind of like a fashion show with their
Mm-hmm.
traditional outfit
Right.
and all that. We did a little bit of raising awareness to
Okay.
certain stuff that's happening back home, certain
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's happening in Africa in general. So, me being a vice president of the African Student Union, AGGC, was kind of like a great adventure for me. And other than that, as an international student, I had to get involved with my people pretty much. So I started as a treasurer
Mm-hmm.
for the International Student Association.
Yes.
Then after getting comfortable learning about certain resources, then I got elected again to become the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
So as the vice president of the um, International Student Association, what we did was pretty much helping, kind of like what we're doing right now, pretty much just welcoming new international students,
Yeah.
kind of like tell them about what to expect, their expectation, give them guidance, and all those stuff. I've been vice president for the past for the past, I think, 2 semesters, so pretty much 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my leadership roles at school. Other than that, because of my leadership roles, I've
Mm-hmm.
been awarded a lot of awards and certifications. As in, if I have to name a few, I was I got into the honor program.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the honor program for having a decent amount of GPA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my goal is to make it to the dean list. I haven't made it to the dean list not yet, but we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had a few certifications outside of school as well. I
Nice.
have my as a nursing major. I've been volunteering. I've been putting myself out there to kind of like gain more experience. So for me, I go by experience then money, because once you got all this experience, money comes. So
Right.
I've got during my volunteering hours, I've got to gain my CPR certification. I've got two CPR certification actually, and right now I'm working for my CNA
CNA.
certification. So that's a little bit of me, a little bit of what I do, a little bit of where I come from, and yeah.
Wow, wow, that's great. But thank you for sharing that. I do believe uh today's topic will really inspire a lot of people. But before jumping into to today's topic, which is student organizations and how to help students to feel more connected, feel at home, uh, I do have a few questions for you. How was it when you were working on your visa requirement document before moving into years? Because you say you're an international student and then
Right.
you've been here for 5 years. Can you tell us a little bit more on how the process went from start and then was it stressful or did you have like to go through some rough moments when you were getting ready to come to US here?
Um, I can tell you a little bit about it. When I did my whole process,
Yes.
I was young. I didn't do it, so my dad did it for me.
Okay.
But the more being around international students
Mm-hmm.
and learning more about the immigration and some of the stuff that they be requiring.
Yes.
So I can say this, the process pretty much depends on where you from
Mm-hmm.
and what school you're going to.
Okay.
Because at my school, for example, Georgia Gwinnett College, to get admissions, it's not a big deal. It's very easy to get accepted at Georgia Gwinnett College
Mm-hmm.
for any sort of program you're trying to do. As long as you have all the requirements and you file your application on time,
Mm-hmm.
you can get your admission ready.
Right.
Because one, Georgia Gwinnett College is still a new school that is growing up.
Mm-hmm.
It was created in 2005, if I remember,
Mm-hmm.
and was actually established as an operating school in 2006. So it's still a new school in progress.
Right.
So the acceptance rate might be around like 80, 90, around that
Yeah,
range.
it should be high.
So getting students, getting admitted to the school shouldn't be complicated as long as you have all your requirements document on time and
Mm-hmm.
you filed everything on time.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was saying, it depends on where you come from and the school you're going to. So in Congo, because when we started doing it in Congo, it didn't work.
Okay.
They didn't give us a visa. Why? No
They gave you
reasons.
no reason
No
why they.
reasons.
Okay.
We did the application, everything was good.
Mm-hmm.
We going for the interview. They're like, they asked. I remember that day because they asked me only two questions. They were like,
Mm-hmm.
"You going to the United States? Yes. You going for school? Yes. Okay. Do you speak English?" I was like, "No."
So you did it in French.
Yeah, I did it in
Okay.
French.
Okay.
I did it in French. They were like, "Do you speak English?" I was like, "No, I don't speak English."
Okay.
That's why I'm going there because my program I have to learn English first.
First. Okay.
And they were like, "Oh no, you're not getting the visa. They will give you a green paper and then that's
Yeah.
it."
And then it has a lot of reasons on that green paper.
That paper pretty much has nothing in there. There will be
Oh, really?
like all the resources in there, but like it's just basic information. They're not
Right.
telling you why they didn't give you the visa. you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at that moment, we were coming and going from Congo to Canada.
Yes.
So when I was in Canada, when I finished school and everything, from there, my dad was like, "Oh, let's try again."
Mm-hmm.
So when we did the same process, and at that time, I got my admission with Kennesaw State University.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started. So I got it there, and we went to the embassy. They were like, "Oh, I did it in French too."
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "You going to the United States?" Yeah. I showed them my programs and everything, school starts and everything,
Yeah.
and they gave me the visa. Before giving me the visa, they were like, "Oh, why didn't you get the visa in Congo?"
Oh, so you went for the interview, and then that was one of the questions during the interview.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were like, "I don't." They were like, "I don't understand why you didn't get the visa in Congo," and I was like, "I don't know." So then they were like, "Okay, come back, come get your visa and your passport and everything." So that's how my process went.
That's interesting though, because can you tell us about, you said you did your process in Congo as well as in Canada. So as far as the process time, did it take you longer in Congo or comparing to Canada?
Um, it took Okay, so it didn't take long because the person that was managing the whole process
Mm-hmm.
was my dad in
Okay.
Congo and my aunt here in the US. So
Okay.
my aunt was the one reaching out to the school,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, because at Kennesaw, they were reaching out to my mom, my aunt,
Mm-hmm.
and then she was the one getting the information and then sending it back to us, kind of like putting the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But like places like agencies or if you're doing on your own and then you back home, it might take a little longer because you don't have someone there to kind of like call the school all the time, rush them to kind of
Right.
like I was saying, it depends on where you at
Mm-hmm.
and what school you're going to.
Right.
Because at Kennesaw, when I first missed the didn't get the visa,
Right.
we just called them and be like, hey, they didn't give him the visa. And it's not like we started the whole process at zero. No. So if I was supposed to start in December, I
Mm-hmm.
just postponed my application for March.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to Canada, I did the application.
Mm-hmm.
They just used the same application on file.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I started everything back to zero, you know.
So I know some universities, what they would do is they will just update your I-20,
Right.
and then they'll just put the new dates on your I-20.
Yeah, that's what we did. That's what we did. They put the updated it,
Hmm.
put the new dates. We didn't have to pay no fees anymore. We just everything went smooth.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I know the process for coming here in US can be very tough sometimes because myself, I've been through it. Although myself, I did it just in Congo, but I know it can be really stressful because it requires a lot of documents. I understand sometimes it can be very difficult to go through the process, mostly in Congo.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so because I myself been through one, it wasn't easy because you had to do get a lot of documentations. Although I had a sibling. Okay, I have a sibling who helped me out with it. It was already here, so it made things easier for me
Right.
as far documentation because he knew things, how things goes and stuff. So it was a little bit, I would say, less stressful. The tough part was at the embassy when you go for the interview.
Mhm.
Very stressed. You don't because I did mine in English.
Right.
Uh, I took some English courses back home. I went to Cali. It's a center. It's an English center back home, and then I took my interview in English. It wasn't easy, but by God's grace, I got the visa the first try that I did it. Got the visa with my sister because we did an interview at the same time, me and my sister.
Oh,
Uh,
both of y'all got it?
Yes, both of us, we got it. So how we went is like we went to the interview, and then when we got in there, he asked us question, why are you trying to?
Also, both of y'all at the same time.
We did the interview at the same time, but I
With the
was
same person or like different?
like, you see when you go inside
Right.
and then you talk to the person. Yeah, yeah, we both
Mm-hmm.
went at the same time, and then we started to do the interview. I was the one speaking first, and then at some point it was like, oh, can she talk?
Right, right.
Yeah, he said, yeah, yeah, she can talk. And then she asked her, she asked her some questions, and then she responded, and then she took about like a minute, and then she gave, oh, can I get your passport? And then she stamped it. I was like,
Right.
and guess what? My sister, she went outside, started crying.
Oh, she didn't know?
No, I mean, she was, but because that's stressful. And then
Right.
when she went outside, she was so happy that she started to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents know because we came at the embassy with my parents. And my parents were outside. So when they saw my sister crying, because I wasn't outside yet, I was waiting for the passport. Actually, I was waiting for the receipt that they usually give you when they
Right.
stamp your passport. So my parents, when they saw my sister, well, my mom started to cry, thinking that we didn't get the visa
Right.
because she didn't say anything. She was just crying. And then that was funny though. And then when she asked her, she thought, "Oh yeah, they gave us visa," and then she started like to
Yeah.
scream and everything. That was really good. That was really good. It was like a really good time when I think about it. But yeah, but to go back to the topic, it can be really stressful when you go through those process. That is one of the reasons today we're going to talk about how we can help students when they're here to make them feel at home because the leave the family like yourself you mentioned something that you used to go back and forth in Canada and Congo, so I'm assuming that your family currently are in Canada, right?
Yeah, 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 they over there.
Okay. So do you have most of your family in Canada or here in US?
Um, Most of direct family, they're in Canada.
Thank
But I have a lot of aunts and uncles in here.
you. Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had two brothers here. So yeah.
Okay. So how do you like your program? You say you've been in US for 5 years and then you've been in school for about like
For
two,
about like 4 years.
4 years. So how do you like your program? You say you're doing public health and nursing. How do you like it?
Um, I do like it. I do like it. When I think about it, I do like it. It's challenging.
Mhm.
It's hard. It can be very stressful, but I do like it. It's something I see myself to be in as being in the medical field, and so I do like the program, especially at GGC. They have great programs.
Mhm.
I'm considering transferring to different schools, maybe go back to Kennesaw State, but that's for like later. So
Okay.
the program is actually good.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's really good. So when you were introducing yourself, telling us more about your background. So you mentioned a lot of things that you have done as a student in
Hmm.
college. So can you tell us how those things that you have been through in college, as far as organizations and everything, help you to build connections?
Um, yes, it helped me a lot in terms of putting myself out there,
Mhm.
in terms of um being more engaging. Because when I came, before coming here, you just hear stuff from people. Oh, the United States, it's dangerous. You gotta be like this. You gotta watch out who you talk to. You gotta like choose your people wisely, yada yada yada. So I was very close-minded.
Mhm.
I was very close-minded when it comes to interacting with people.
Mhm.
But my interaction started just at home. When I came here, I was around my cousins most of the time.
Mhm.
They've learned French through me. I've learned English through them.
Mhm.
So that's where the interaction started. For about the whole summer, I've done my social experience with them,
Mhm.
right? So I went to church, got introduced to some people at church.
Mhm.
I met some friends at church, and from there, I've kind of like not let my guards down, but kind of like open myself to meeting new people,
Right.
you know. So yeah, my interaction started at home, then church,
Mhm.
then cause I do a little bit of dancing. So the more you dance at certain events, you get known,
Yeah.
and then they called you again, and then you dance again, they call you, and then just repetition.
That's what I think that you're known for.
Some of yeah, especially in Georgia,
Yeah.
in the African community, a lot of them know me as someone who's very, out there with a bright personality.
Mm.
It's either I make people laugh
The
or we
dance mambo.
dance. Yeah, all them dancers,
Yeah.
and some Americans or African Americans
Right.
know me because I tutor high schoolers and some
Great.
college students sometimes
Mm-hmm.
with certain subjects. So it's pretty much just putting yourself out there. That's how I've gained all the network and connection that I've made.
Mm.
It's through being out there. You're looking at the requirement they're asking you, like, I don't have this requirements, but let me just try, and then you get selected.
Mm.
Because even those leadership roles I've been in at school, I never been in a leadership role ever.
Mm.
So I was just like, oh, I want to try,
Okay.
and you go there, and then boom, you up there. So it's pretty much being willing to learn
Mm-hmm.
and also being open-minded. The
Mm.
more open-minded you are and willing to learn new stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you get connected with people. That's even the people you connected with, they feel motivated by your will of learning. And
Okay.
they're like, yeah, we got this thing going on. Call this man. He likes to learn. He will do that.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I've danced at places I don't even know the people, but like because someone knew someone and then he know the other person
Yeah.
who knew me, and they're like, "Oh, Ben, you can do this,"
It's connection.
and then
Yeah.
boom, you know,
So because some student might feel shy or unsure about joining those groups. So what advice would you give them when somebody is feeling shy or unsure about because maybe they've heard stories or
right?
maybe just they've never been through it?
Well, just try it.
Okay.
Just try it. I'm not gonna say go. It's gonna be great,
Yeah.
but I'll say just try.
Hmm.
You know, 75% of the time, you might find someone who's also like me,
Hmm.
who pretty much pay attention to details and people. So someone might approach you. If you're shy to talk to someone else will feel courageous enough to come talk to you since you're shy to go talk to them. And then the more comfortable they make you feel when they talk to you, progressively you will be opening up and being more comfortable talking to them.
Okay.
You know, so just try and just be out there. Be open minded.
Right.
Don't be like, oh, I'm a shy person. If I don't want to try this, what if? No, you're being close minded.
Right.
Even if you know you're shy,
Right.
it's okay. You're shy because you can't talk to people because you are shy.
Hmm.
But the other person is not shy to talk to you.
Hmm.
So for them to come talk to you and make you feel comfortable to the point where your shyness lowers a little bit,
Hmm.
you have to be open minded and let them in. So it's pretty much just try and be open minded.
Some people are introverted. They just like to be within
Right.
themselves. But being an international student, I do believe that even if you're an introvert, but if you want or need opportunities, you need to put yourself out there.
Uh,
Because by not putting yourself out there, you will have lower chances to people who are putting themselves like yourself. You've been in a lot of different activities, a lot of groups, and then talking about being in a lot of groups, have you ever met or did you meet someone while being in those groups and then things that you've done? Did you meet someone or have you met someone who ever changed your life? And then if you have, can you share the story?
like ever changed my life?
Yeah, like who changed your life or like that really inspired you?
Um, Not only in groups, but like just well, groups, but like I've met a lot of people that changed my perspective of seeing things or viewing things because when I came here, I was like,
Hmm.
And then I came from Canada from here. Over there, people are very nice to each other. People are genuinely nice to each other
Mm-hmm.
compared to here.
Yes.
Here, people are fakely nice to each other,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So over there, if someone is nice to you, the person is genuinely nice to you.
How do you do that?
How do you know that?
Yeah.
You can just feel it. It's not forced,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
And you might be wrong too. Like there is mean people down there too.
Right.
But like most of the time, people are very genuine, very nice, very social. So when I came here, I'm like, it took me a while to adapt
Mm.
with the United States because here, I remember one time I had crutches. I had a problem with my foot, and I was on crutches, right?
Right.
And I was supposed to go to Walmart to like send some money at Western Union. I'm standing there on the line with crutches. You're not gonna do that in Canada. You're not gonna see that in Canada. It's not like that.
Okay.
They will let you the same way they will let a grown man and an adult person, a senior person go. They
Yeah.
will let you go. But I was standing there and I'm like, what is this? So I've met a lot of people here. They're like, no, that's not how it works. Like me getting, um, how can I say it? Me being comfortable and understanding the system here in the United States, I was able to do it through the people I've met. Because
Right.
they've been here
Mm-hmm.
longer than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be like, this is not how we do it. And they were like, well, you're not over there, you're here. And here we do it this way.
Right.
So they've changed my perspective of seeing things, doing certain things,
Mm-hmm.
saying certain things. You know,
Yeah.
there was some stuff you just look and you just shake your head and you just move on. You know, but yeah,
That's such a great story, a great example. It's very important because when you get somewhere, it's very important to understand the system. Because if you do not understand the system, you'll be doing stuff and sometimes you just feel like you lost. But if you get the system, so you at least know how things work, uh, and then it's very important to get connected with people who already been there, who can help you out and then show you how the system
right.
works and things like that. Hey guys, my name is Gracien. Welcome to the OTG Podcast, your destination for curious mind and adventurous spirits. We're here to explore big and small things that connect all of us, from cultural stories and world travel to self-improvement, trends, and fun fact about life. We cover all of it. Every week, we take you on a journey, sharing new perspectives, inspiring conversations, and stories that stick with you. So, what are you waiting for? You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, follow us on social media, and let's get on the go together.